Good day, everyone. We are the group that are assigned to discuss the Module 7. The assigned topic for us in oral presentation is all about the hyperbola. What is hyperbola? Hyperbola is the set of all points where the difference between their distances from the fixed points or the foci is constant. Let's answer the exercise 3A. The instruction is complete the table below and draw the graph of each hyperbola. Before that, eto muna yung mga summary of hyperbola equation at center 0, 0. Ito yung pagbabasehan natin na kung saan yung transversal axis niya. Yung posi, vertices, conjugate, asymptotes, the directrices, endpoints, SF. Yun lang. And the next one is the summary of hyperbola equations at center H and K. Ito naman yung mga formula na gagamitin natin para makuha natin yung posi, vertices, conjugates, asymptotes, directrix, endpoints, SF, and GF. Ito yung mga gagamitin natin sa pagsagot ng exercise 3A. So, let's continue and answer the number 1. In number 1, the given are the center, which is 0, 0. The vertices is 0, negative 3, and 0, positive 3. And our posi is 0, negative 4, and 0, positive 4. So, kung papansinin natin ang vertices, 0, negative 3, and 0, positive 3, malalaman natin kung saan ang transversal axis niya naglalay. So, based doon, malalaman natin ang transversal axis is on y-axis. We all know that A is equals to negative 3, and that is vertices. So, ang value ng A is equals to 3. Given the posi 0, negative 4, and 0, positive 4, we all know that C is equals to 4 units, where C is a posi. Since hinahanap natin yung B, o ang length ng conjugate axis na 2B, kung saan ang gagamitin nating formula is B equals square root of C squared minus A squared. Then, substitute lang natin yung value na dapat na i-substitute kung saan ang C is equals to 4 and A is equals to 3. So, B equals square root of 4 squared minus 3 squared. B is equals to square root of 16 minus 9. So, the answer is square root of 7. So, nakuha na natin ang conjugate axis o ang B, which is square root of 7. Ang kukunin muna natin bago natin kunin ang directrices, kunin muna natin yung LR or the latus rectum. Para makuha natin yon, kailangan natin munang kunin yung length ng transverse axis. So, para makuha ang length ng transverse axis, ang kailangan lang natin is itwice yung A o itwice yung vertices, yung value ng vertices, which is ang A is equals to 3. 2 times 3 is equals to 6. So, the length of the transverse axis is 6. And para naman makuha natin yung LR, ang gagamitin nating formula is 2B squared over A. Substitute lang natin, the value of B is equals to square root of 7. The value of A is equals to 3. So, 2 square root of 7 squared over 3. Solve lang natin. Square root of 7 raised to 2 is 7. Square root of 7 raised to 2 is 7 times sa 2, 14 over 3. Therefore, our LR or the latus rectum is 14 over 3. Yan, nakuha na natin yung LR. Kukunin naman natin yung eccentricity o ang E. E is equals to C over A. Yun yung gagamitin natin. Substitute lang natin. And our eccentricity, E is equals to 4 over 3. So, ayan, nasusundan nyo pa ba? Makikita naman siya dyan sa PPT, and sa baba ng PPT na yan is yung solution. Yung mga ginamit nating formula. So, continue tayo. Para naman makuha natin yung directrices, ang gagamitin nating formula is y is equals to plus minus a squared over c. Then, substitute lang natin kung saan ang a is equals to 3 and c is equals to 4. So, y is equals to plus minus 3 squared over 4. Therefore, the directrices is plus minus 9/4. So, nakuha na natin yung dalawang directrices, which is y is equals to 9/4 and y is equals to negative 9/4. Continue naman tayo para makuha natin yung endpoints. Ang endpoints ay apat siya. So, para makuha natin yung endpoints, mag-base tayo dun sa ginamit nating formula, which is yung endpoint 1 is b squared over a and c. So, substitute lang natin yung mga dapat na i-substitute, and our endpoint 1 is 7/3 and 4. The next endpoint 2, negative b squared over e and c. So, substitute ulit. Our endpoint 2 is negative 7/3 and 4. Next naman, yung endpoint 3 naman natin na b squared over a and negative naman yung c. Substitute ulit. Our endpoint c is 7/3 and negative 4. And endpoint 4 naman, pareho naman silang negative. Yung negative b squared over a and negative naman yung c. Substitute ulit natin. After naman yung substitute, our endpoint 4 is negative 7/3 and negative 4. So, ang kukunin naman nating sunod is yung asymptotes. So, paano naman natin makukuha yung asymptotes? Gagawin natin is, gagamitin natin ang formula na y is equals to plus minus a over b x. Then, substitute lang natin y is equals to plus minus 3 over square root of 7 times x. And the answer is 3x minus square root of 7y equals 0 and 3x plus square root of 7y equals 0. So, nakuha na natin yung asymptotes. Ang next na hahanapin natin ay ang SF, kung saan ang gagamitin nating formula is y squared over a squared minus x squared minus b over b squared equals 1a greater than b. Then, substitute lang natin yung y squared over 3 squared minus x squared over square root of 7 squared equals 1 greater than b. And our SF is y squared over 9 minus x squared over 7 equals to 1. So, ayan, makita nyo naman yan sa PPT kung ano yung SF natin. So, ang last na kukunin natin is yung GF. So, para naman makuha natin yung GF, we are going to divide both sides of the SF. I-divide natin both sides yung SF. Yung y squared over 9 minus x squared over 7 equals to 1. I-divide natin siya sa LCM na yung sa LCM na 63. And gawin natin standard form. And our GCF is 9x squared minus 7y squared plus 63 equals 0. So, ayan, nakuha na natin ang GF. After that, sa next slide nito is dun nyo makikita yung graph. Ipa-plot lang naman natin siya. So, ayan. As you can see, ito yung graph ng number 1. So, ito yung vertices. 0. Ito muna yung center ng hyperbola, which is 0, 0. Ang vertices natin is 0, negative 3. Ito yon. And 0, positive 3. And ito naman yung posi natin. 0, negative 4, and 0, positive 4. So, ang transversal axis niya is nasa y-axis. Ayan. Makikita natin. So, para naman malaman natin yung length ng transversal axis, alam naman natin na kailangan lang i-twice yung length ng vertices. So, ang vertices natin is 3. So, the length is 6. So, ayan ang transversal axis niya. So, eto naman, etong diagonal na to, kung makikita nyo, Ito yung asymptotes natin. Ito yung center, ito yung asymptotes natin. Ito naman yung ating hyperbola. Yung hyperbola natin, ito yung dalawang pair ng hyperbola natin. Hindi siya mag-touch sa ating asymptotes. Alam naman natin yan. Ito naman, makikita natin dyan, yung negative 7 over 3 and 4. Ito naman 7 over 3 and 4. Ito naman yung negative 7 over 3 and 4 and 7 over 3 and negative 4. Ito yung ating apat na end points. So, ayan lang naman. Ito naman yung y equals positive negative 9 over 4. Ayan yung ating directrices. And ito naman etong B naman is yung B1 and B2. Ito naman yung endpoints ng conjugate axis. So, ayan lang naman yung graph. Thank you.
So, let us proceed in answering our number 2. So, given the vertices and the foci, the transversal axis is y-axis. And yung length ng transversal axis natin is 6 kasi nga we twice the vertices. Okay, so since given nga ulit yung vertices and yung foci natin, we're going to find the LR. Eccentricity, center, directrices, endpoints, asymptotes, SF, and lastly is yung GF. Okay, so since ang vertices natin is at point 0 and 3 or 0 positive 3 and 0 negative 3, we can come up to an answer na ang center natin is at points 0 and 0 where A is equals to 3 units and yung foci natin is at 0, 5 or 0 positive 5 and 0 negative 5. So, after that, makukuha na natin yung answer sa letter C natin, which is C is equals to 5 or positive 5. After that, pwede naman natin makuha yung ating letter B or yung tinatawag natin na conjugate axis. So, to get that, we're going to use the formula na same lang dun sa ginamit natin sa kanina, sa number 1. Where B is equals to square root ng C squared minus A squared. And then, substitute lang natin yung value na dapat natin i-substitute. Kung saan yung C natin is equals to 5 and yung A natin is equals to 3. So, that will be B is equals to square root of 5 squared minus 3 squared. So, 5 squared is 25 and 3 squared is equals to 9. So, 25 minus 9, that is 16. So, square root ng 16, alam naman natin na that is equals to 4. So, therefore, ang value ng B natin is 4. And we can come up to an answer na ang conjugate axis natin is, or yung letter B natin is at 4 or points 4 and 0 and negative 4 and 0. So, ayan. Dahil given na nga yung vertices at foci natin, and nakuha na rin natin yung conjugate axis, pwede naman na natin makuha yung LR at eccentricity natin. And to get our LR, pwede natin gamitin yung formula tulad ng ginamit natin sa number 1, which is yung 2b squared over a. So, substitution lang ulit. So, since yung value ng b natin is 4, and yung value ng a natin is 3, that will be 2 times 4 squared over 3. So, 4 squared is 16. So, times 2, that is 32 over 3. Therefore, our LR is equals to 32 over 3. Tapos, after that, yung eccentricity naman natin. ang formula natin for that one is E is equals to C over A. Substitute lang natin since C is equals to 5 and our A is equals to 3. Our letter E or eccentricity is equals to 5 over 3. And then, next one is yung direct recess. Pwede na natin siyang makuha once makuha na natin yung LR and eccentricity natin. So, ang gagamitin naman natin formula for that one is yung ginamit din natin kanina, which is yung y is equals to positive negative a squared over c. So, once we substitute yung value ng a natin, which is yung 3, and yung value ng c natin, which is yung 5, we can come up to an answer na y is equals to positive negative 3 squared over 5. So, therefore, yung answer natin for our direct recess is equals to positive negative 9 over 5. And then, next is the endpoints. So, we have 4 equations or formula para makuha natin yung endpoint natin. So, we have endpoint 1, endpoint 2, 3, and 4. So, for our endpoint 1, ang formula natin is b squared over a and positive c. So, that is equals to 16 over 3 and 5. Then, endpoint number 2 natin is negative b squared over a and positive c. So, that is equals to negative 16 over 3 and positive 5. Next one is endpoint number 3. That is equivalent to, or our formula for that endpoint is b squared over a and negative c. So, that will be 16 over 3 and negative 5. And then, lastly naman is yung endpoint 4, which is negative b squared over a and negative c. So, that will be negative 16 over 3 and negative 5. So, sinasubstitute lang natin yung values ng a, b, and c natin para makuha natin yung mga endpoint from 1 to 4. And then, susunod naman na gagawin is to find our asymptotes. So, formula natin for this one is y is equals to positive negative a over b x. And then, once we substitute that, yung values, we can get y is equals to positive negative 3 over 4x. And yung magiging answer natin for that one is 3x minus 4y is equals to 0. And 3x plus 4y is equals to 0. Dalawa yung value kasi we have the positive answer and the negative one. Okay? And next one naman is natin is yung SF natin. So, ang formula for our SF is y squared over a squared minus x squared over b squared is equals to 1, where a is greater than b. Okay, so, substitute lang natin yung given ulit. Y is, or y squared over 3 squared minus x squared over 4 squared is equals to 1, where a is greater than b ulit. So, simplify lang natin. That will be y squared over 9 minus x squared over 16 is equals to 1. Lastly, yung GF naman. So, to get the GF, we're going to divide both sides ng SF. Since yung SF natin is equals to y squared over 9 minus x squared over 16 is equals to 1. So, divide natin siya sa 144. So, gagawin natin siyang standard form. And, ayun na. Makukuha na natin yung GF natin, which is 9x squared minus 16y squared plus 144 is equals to 0. So, ito yung graph for that equation. Since nakuha na natin lahat ng kailangan natin, ito dapat yung magiging final output ng graph natin for this one. For number 2. So, for numbers 3, 4, and 5 naman, since ang transversal axis nila is nasa x-axis, so pare-pareho lang silang tatlo. So, yung graph nila is magbe-base lang or same lang din sa method na ginamit kanina. So, yung method is magbe-base lang kung saan naglalay yung transversal axis nila. So, either sa x-axis ba or sa y-axis. So, ito na. Ito yung graph ng numbers 3, 4, and number 5.
And now we were going to proceed to 3B exercise wherein we need to find the equation of the hyperbola satisfying the given conditions. So, ayan. So, wag na tayo magpaligoy-ligoy. Let us now proceed to number 1. Number 1, center 2 and negative 3, transverse axis 12, horizontal conjugate axis 10. So, in order for us to find the general equation, general function, we need to apply the formula y minus k squared over a squared minus x minus h squared over b squared is equal to 1. So, given naman na natin ang center, so we need to substitute the k and h, wherein ang gagamitin na natin y minus 3 squared over a squared minus x minus 2 squared over b squared is equal to 1. So, in order for us to find the a and b, gagamitin natin ay 2a is equal to the transverse axis. So, ang transverse axis natin ay 12. So, 2a is equal to 12. So, i-divide lang natin ang 12 into 2, wherein a is equal to 6. So, we need to find also the conjugate axis, the letter, we need to find the b. Gagamitin natin ay 2b is equal to conjugate axis, wherein 2b is equal to 10. So, i-divide lang din natin ang 10 into 2. So, ang sagot niyan ay b is equal to 5. So, sabi ko kanina, ang gagamitin natin ay ang tawag doon, ang formula na wherein wala pa ang value ng a and b. So, ngayon, lalapatan na natin siya ng value. Ang 6, ang a magiging 6, ang b ay magiging 5. So, magiging 6 squared and then 5 squared. So, ayan, isosolve na natin. Ang y plus 3 squared ay magiging y squared plus 6y plus 9. Ang 6 squared naman ay magiging 36 minus 6 minus 2 squared ay magiging x squared minus 4x plus 4. At yung 5 squared ay magiging 25 is equal to 1. So, cross multiplication tayo. Ang kakalabasan nito ay 25y squared plus 150y plus 225 minus cross multiplication ulit, 36x squared plus 144x minus 144 is equal to 900. So, in order for us to find the general equation, we need to combine like terms. Unahin natin syempre ang x squared. Ang value niyan ay 36x squared minus 25y squared. So, ang sunod naman ay, ang pag-arrange natin ay minus 144x minus 150y and then plus 225 minus 900 minus 225 and then 100 plus 100 144 and then 225 is equal to 819 is equal to 0. So, yan yung magiging general equation natin. So, here, number 2, foci at negative 2 and 3, and negative 2 and 7, length of latus rectum, which is 64/3. So, given ang ating foci, negative 2 and 3, and negative 2 and 7, at ang latus rectum natin ay 64/3. And then, yung center natin ay negative 2/5, ay negative 2 and 5, wherein ang A B and C natin ay meron na, which is 3/2. Ang B natin is 2, and C natin is 2. So, syempre, ang gagamitin nating formula ay y minus k squared over a squared minus x minus h squared over b squared is equal to 1. So, syempre, una natin gagawin, we need to substitute the center or the h and k. So, ang kakalabasan nito ay y minus 5 squared over 9 minus 4 minus x plus 2 squared over 16 is equal to 1. So, in order for us to find a, syempre, anuhin natin, isa-square root natin ang 9/4. Ang square root of 9 is 3. Ang square root of 4 is 2. So, ang a natin is 3/2. So, letter B naman, i-square root lang din natin ang 16. The square root of 16 will be 4. So, in order, magiging LR natin will be 2b squared over a. So, ang value ng b natin is 4. And ang value natin ng a is 3/2. We need to substitute lang. So, 2 times 4 squared over 3/2 is equal to 16/3/2. Ang sagot niyan ay 32/3. So, syempre, i-ano natin to, i-solve natin yung y minus 5 squared, which is y squared minus 10y plus 25. So, copy natin yung 9/4 minus yung x plus 2 squared naman ay x squared plus 4x plus 4. Syempre, copy natin yung 16 is equal to 1. So, ayan, ang magiging sagot niyan ay iaangat lang natin itong 4 para maalis yung fraction ng 9/4, which is 4y squared minus 40y plus 225 over 9 na siya minus x squared plus 4x plus 4 over 16 is equal to 1. So, cross multiplication and then combine like terms, ang kakalabasan niya ay ang general equation niya, which is the 9x squared minus 64y squared plus 36x plus 640y minus 1420 is equal to 0. So, the next one will be the centered at 0 and 0, eccentricity square root of 2, distance between directrices 7 square root of 2, and transverse axis horizontal. Given ang ating center, which is 0 and 0, and given na rin ang ating eccentricity square root of 2, so in SF, used for transverse axis horizontal would be x minus h squared over a squared minus y minus k squared over b squared is equal to 1. So the distance between the directrices will be the 7 square root of 2, wherein the our directrix is equal to x equal to positive and negative 7 square root of 2/2. So in order to find a, we need a squared over c is equal to 7 squared root of 2/2, wherein a is equal to 7. In order to find c, it is a over c is equal to 1 over square root of 2 is equal to c is equal to a squared minus 2 is equal to 5 square root of 2, wherein our c is equal to 5 square root of 2. In order to find b, which is square root of c squared minus a squared, wherein b squared is equal to square root of 5 square root of 2 squared minus 7 squared, wherein b is equal to square root of 50 minus 49, which is b is equal to square root of 1, wherein b is equal to 1. So we need to substitute, which is x squared over 49 minus y squared minus over 1 is equal to 1. So it will be x squared minus y squared is equal to 49. So in our general equation will be x squared minus y squared minus 49 is equal to 0. So, number 4 na tayo, wherein endpoints of conjugate axis 5 and 1 and 5 and 9, wherein the perimeter of auxiliary rectangle is 28 units. So, given ang ating conjugate points, which is 5 and 1 and 5 and 9, and ang ating center dito will be 5 and 5. So, the distance of two conjugate axes is equal to 1 minus 9 is equal to 8. The distance of two conjugate axes will be 2b, wherein A is equal to 2b and B is equal to 4. So, our auxiliary rectangle is equal to 2 distance of vertices plus 2 distance of conjugates. So, since ang ating auxiliary rectangle is having a 28 units, so 28 units is equal to 2 vertices and 2 distance of conjugates, which is 8. So, 28 is equal to 2v plus 2 times 8 is equal to 16, wherein 2v is equal to 12. So, in order for us to find the v, i-divide lang natin ng 12 into 2, which is 6. So, dito naman sa distance of two conjugate axes, wherein 6 is equal to 2a. So, 6 is equal to 2a. Yung 6, syempre, i-divide lang din natin siya into 2 to find a. So, ang ating a is equal to 3. So, sabi natin kanina, ang SF formula is x minus h squared over a squared minus y minus k squared over b squared is equal to 1. We need to substitute. Ang ating h is equal to 5, ang ating as well as ang ating k, we need to substitute it, magiging x minus 5 squared over ang ating a is equal to 3. So, magiging 3 squared minus y minus 5 squared over ang ating b naman ay ang 4. So, magiging 4 squared is equal to 1. So, ang ating general na magiging dito ay x minus 5 squared over 9 minus y minus 5 squared over 16. So, saan nanggaling yung 9? So, 3 squared. Saan din naman nanggaling ang 4, which is, ang 16 which is, ang 4 squared is equal to 1. So, ang magiging solution dito ay yung x minus 5 squared, i-solve natin siya, which is ang kakalabasan ay x squared minus 10x plus 25 over 9 minus y squared minus 10y plus 25 over 16 is equal to 1. So, cross multiplication, 16x squared minus 160x plus 400 minus 9y squared plus 90y minus 225 is equal to 144. So, we need to substitute, we need to arrange, and then we need to combine like terms so that we can have a general equation. And the general equation here will be 16x squared minus 9y squared minus 160x plus 90y plus 31 is equal to 0. So, number 5, vertices at negative 1 and 4 and 5 and 4, the area of auxiliary rectangle is 48 square units. So, given ang ating square units is 48, given na rin ang ating vertices na kung saan ito ay 1 and negative 1 and 4 and 5 and 4. Given na rin ang center, which is 2 and 4. So, the distance of the vertices will be negative 1 minus 5 is equal to 6. The distance of the vertices is 2a. In order for us to find a, we need to divide it. Yung 6, you need to divide it by 2. So, 6 is equal to 2a, which is a is equal to 3. So, sabi natin, auxiliary rectangle is equal to the distance of the vertices x. So, here in the distance of conjugates, since meron na tayong square units sa ating auxiliary rectangle, we need to find its distance. So 48 is equal to 6c. The conjugate, we need to find the conjugate by dividing the square units sa ating distance of two vertices. So 48 divided by 6 is equal to 8. So given ang ating conjugate, ang distance of a conjugate, so i-substitute natin siya. So in order to find b, so sa conjugates of 2b, which is 8, is equal to 2b. In order to find b, kailangan natin i-divide ang 8, which is 8 divided by 2 is equal to 4. So in order for us also to find the conjugates h and k, positive and negative, b, kailangan natin i-separate yung positive and negative, so that we will be having two answers. So in h and then k plus b, which is 2 and 4 plus 4 is equal to 8. It is 2 and 8. And yung sa negative naman, which is 2 and 4 minus 4 is equal to 2 and 0. So gagamitin na natin ang SF formula, which is the x minus h squared over a squared minus y minus k squared over b squared is equal to 1. So ita-transfer lang natin yung ating h and k ng 2 at saka 4, and then ang ating what I mean is ang ating a and b will be 3 at saka 4. So magiging 9 and 16. So syempre kailangan natin i-solve ang x minus 2 squared, which is x squared minus 4x plus 4 over 9 minus yung y minus 4 squared, ang kakalabasan niya ay y squared minus 8y plus 16 over 16 is equal to 1. So cross multiplication lang tayo, ang kakalabasan niya ay 16x squared minus 64x plus 64 minus 9y squared plus 72y minus 144 is equal to 144. So in order for us to find the general equation, we need to combine like terms. Hindi lang i-combine like terms, we need to arrange also the equation, which is the 16x squared minus 9y squared minus 64x plus 72y minus 224 is equal to 4. Is equal to 0. So that is the general equation for number 5.